Good morning, all. We're so lucky to live on a piece of land surrounded by shrimp. Shrimp is the most popular of all seafood, and we live in its epicenter. So join me today here on SoFlo Taste, because today I'm all about shrimp. How fun is that? Good morning, I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein, and welcome to the Goya Kitchen at JA World here in Coconut Creek. Get ready for some recipes that are shrimply the best. With the exception of those of you with shrimp allergies like my son, everybody loves shrimp. And even you with allergies probably love shrimp at one time or would love to love shrimp at one time. So today I thought it would be fun to give you some of my best shrimp recipes and also to appease the crew with a shrimp brunch. So let's get cooking. The first dish I want to make you all is moqueca. Moqueca is a stew. It can be a fish, it can be a shrimp. It comes from Brazil. It's delicious. But before I jump in, I wanted to show you a couple of different shrimp that I brought along with me today. These are Ecuadorian shrimp, a very large shrimp, as you can see. This is from Key West. This is a very meaty shrimp. It kind of eats a little bit like lobster. And this is an Argentine shrimp that reminds me a lot of langoustine, which is a little bit softer and more delicate. And of course, I got all these and my friends over at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. I want to remind you that I know that they put chicken first in their name, but its last name is still Seafood Market, and they have great seafood, including all of the shrimp we have today. Call them at 954-983-6831. or DelawareChicken.com. Place an order with them. Go in there. Go see this beautiful store. You will be amazed, and they will help you out. They're at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. Tell them Michelle sent you, and tell them, please, that I send my love. I'm going to bring in an oil that you probably have never seen, and if you don't want to use it, I understand, because it's really unhealthy, but it happens to be really interesting in flavor. It's called Dendi oil, which is a red palm oil. Really bad for you. I use a very little bit. So I'm going to start with a little Dendi oil as well as a little bit of olive oil. And if you don't want to use Dendi oil, by all means don't. But I'll be starting this out with it. It definitely has a particular smell and flavor. Let's start out with some sliced shallots, thinly sliced shallots. I use these instead of onion just because they are probably my favorite. We're also going to add some julienne pieces of red pepper. And this recipe I'm giving you today is for 1 pound of shrimp, just so you know. Let's go ahead and mix these up a little bit, get them softening and cooking. And I love to serve moqueca with either regular rice or coconut rice, just so you know. And I also toasted a little bit of coconut over there, some shredded coconut, to go on the top of my dish today. All right, next ingredients we'll be adding will be a little bit of minced garlic and minced ginger. And it's a pretty quick cook, so just make sure that you have everything ready before you jump right in. So to this, and the reason why there's a piece of lime in there, you actually marinate your shrimp in lime juice. Funny, a lot of the guys thought I was making ceviche this morning, but instead, it's actually just preparing the shrimp to be cooked. I'm actually also going to season it with some salt and mix it in there. But the lime adds a fresh kind of acidity to the sauce, which is a coconut-based sauce, which always is better with a little bit of lime in it. And it gives the shrimp a head start. Okay, I'll be adding some julienne tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, small cut up jalapenos with seeds, just a small amount, a little bit of chicken broth, unless you have shrimp broth at your house, or fish stock would be delicious too. And then coconut milk. Coconut milk changes depending on what brand you buy, and honestly, for me, I have to buy Thai coconut milk, and you have to shake it up before you add it in. If not, the texture is never quite the same. think about a half a can would be perfect for this. All right, let this come up to a boil. The last thing we're going to add to the recipe after the shrimp will be cilantro, and then we will put it in this bowl. We've given the shrimp a head start with the lime, so the shrimp is going to cook really fast. It'll cook fast anyway, but especially fast because of the addition of the lime to it. All right, so let's go ahead and add our shrimp. And let's cook it in the beautiful coconut juice. To prepare for the plate, I'm going to go ahead and serve some rice in the center of the dish. Like I said, you can make coconut rice, which I love to make with the same coconut milk I'm using for this recipe, or just regular steamed rice. Let's go ahead and chop some cilantro. So I don't have salt in this yet. The only thing I have salt on is the shrimp. As you saw, I seasoned it as well as the lime juice. It has a lot of seasoning. So make sure you taste your moqueca before you serve it, because if you don't have the right amount of salt, it's never going to have the flavor that it needs to. Good, but needs salt. Okay, so I'm going to add more salt. I'll add the cilantro. And I know a lot of you worry about cooking shrimp, and it's not about it becoming a tight circle. It's about it becoming more of a U, like these are shaped. So I'm going to shut this off because this is ready. Go ahead and grab these gorgeous vegetables and shrimp and place them around the rice. It has a beautiful fragrance to it, a gorgeous color. Make sure you spoon a lot of that beautiful juice all the way around. Not a bad beginning to our shrimp show. And I bet you never thought I'd be making moqueca. So I'll be waiting for y'all after the break because I've got more shrimp recipes for you. So hurry back.
Come back to the Goya Kitchen at J.A. World, Michelle, and the food. This is SoFlo Taste.
I'm design expert Elena Capra, and after Michelle, join me for SoFlo Home Project here on Local 10.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste, where I am making shrimply irresistible shrimp recipes. So my next, oh wait, hold on. Let me show you the moqueca. You never got to see it finished. So the rice is in the middle, the moqueca's all the way around, and of course I topped it with toasted coconut. So fun and so delicious. All right. So, do y'all love lobster rolls? Because I love a good lobster roll. Why not make it shrimp? So I have poached shrimp in some seasoned water with a little bit of Old Bay, and these are perfectly cooked. I don't actually like to put them in ice water because to me you're washing off all the great flavor. So I just put them on a little cookie sheet and throw that into the cooler until they cool off. And then you take them and you cut them in half. And you slice them up nice and small. You got to get rid of those tails too. All right, so cut them up like so, and then like so, into pieces that are small, but not so small they are unidentifiable. And like so. As you see to my right, I am cooking lobster roll, the bread, in a little bit of butter, just toasting it all the way around, which by the way, Not only did I find this shrimp at Delaware Chicken Farm, I also got that bread there too. So let's see how these are doing. Oh, beautiful. Making them nice and golden and irresistible. So I love putting some tarragon, one of my favorite herbs to go with shrimp, and fresh dill on the cutting board. And let's go ahead and chop that up nice and fine. Maybe a little finer. And let's go ahead and add this to our chopped up shrimp. Your favorite mayonnaise is very important for this one, so it's up to you. We all have our favorite. Here I'm using Duke's because I love Duke's. And let's not burn our bread. So these are almost there. I'm going to turn down the heat. So I think that might be enough mayonnaise. Yeah, I don't want to over mayonnaise. Let's go ahead and add hot sauce. Now, what hot sauce? I don't know. There's so many different kinds, whatever your favorites are. But to me, if I'm making a sandwich with seafood or shellfish like this, I always go to the more American style hot sauces, but it's really up to you. Now, I told you I cooked this in Old Bay, but I'm also adding Old Bay to my mix and a little bit of fresh squeezed lemon, but not too much because we don't want to take away from the flavor of the shrimp. And then finally, we need crunchies. I mean, the herb has a little bit of texture, but there's nothing like a little bit of onion and celery for a good shrimp roll. So let's add a little bit of that in there. A little bit of celery in there. Let's go ahead and combine everything up into one beautiful salad. Now, for those of you that don't eat bread, this would be beautiful wrapped up in a lettuce leaf or even in a rice paper. And for those of you that are lucky enough to be able to eat bread, then buy these gorgeous rolls. They are cut down the center so that you can fill them easily. I highly recommend you put them on your serving dish first. That way anything that falls over can be eaten by the customer. So let's use a spoon and let's go ahead and shovel our delicious shrimp salad into our rolls. And you want them overstuffed just like so. Ah, what a pretty picture. A little bit more. And these are those beautiful big shrimp that I think are just perfect for this recipe. They're big and fat and remind me a little bit of lobster, and they've got a great chew to them. Let's fill up our second one. Now, if you wanted, go a step further, get some dirty chips and throw them right on top of here, and you have yourself a shrimp party. More shrimp coming up, so come right back. SoFlo Taste will return right after this. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. We're here at JA World in Coconut Creek, a wonderful and beautiful place committed to the education of our children. This 60,000 square foot interactive learning environment teaches students entrepreneurism, workplace readiness, and financial literacy. Visit jasouthflorida.org, or for more information, call them at 954-979-7100. They always make us feel welcome. Now back to the food. All right, who's ready for shrimp pasta? Woo-hoo! This is a dish that is just so loved. So many people love this. Let's jump right in. We're gonna make it lemony and creamy and yummy. So we're gonna start out with some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, but not the fancy kind. And a little bit of butter. Here I have this beautiful, this is the Argentine shrimp that remind me of langoustine. I'm gonna season them with a nice amount of kosher salt and pepper. The first thing we're going to do is just sear the shrimp so that the pan has all the flavor of the shrimp but we don't want to overcook them. So we're going to remove them after we sear them quickly. The smell coming off this pan is amazing. And whatever gets stuck to the pan will be the base of our sauce. All right, I'm going to remove them so that they don't overcook. They will cook again once the sauce is ready. To my right, so you know I have spaghetti cooking in boiling water. All right, I'm going to add a little bit more butter, just a little bit, and go ahead and cook minced shallots. We're not looking for color, we're looking for them to just soften beautifully. To that, I'm going to go ahead and add the zest of a lemon. Okay. I'm going to cut this lemon in half because I'm going to use the juice as well. I love pasta water because it brings everything together because of its natural starchiness. So I'm going to go ahead and add some pasta water to my pan. It will reduce quickly because it does have the starch of the pasta. To this, I'm going to go ahead and add, I think a half of a lemon should be enough. I want this to be lemony, but I don't want it to be astringent. I'm going to go ahead and turn up the heat and allow this to start reducing. I've got a tiny touch of white wine I'm putting in, some nice dry white wine that I'd like to reduce a little bit. And I'm going to do something terrible and against the Italian law. I'm going to actually add a little Parmesan to this. I hope it's okay. If you really feel like I'm doing something wrong, then don't use the Parmesan. I get it. This needs a nice amount of black pepper in it. And let's check our pasta. Our pasta is nearly done. And this is reducing beautifully because of the water from the pasta. It's really taking on a beautiful, thicker stage. Add a little bit of heavy cream. I'm going to add the shrimp back in and any juices that have, look at that, I want you to see that. You see the orangey broth that's down on the bottom of that bowl? That's the best. Those are the natural juices from the shrimp. All that goes back in. I've got chopped up tarragon, parsley, and dill in here. And I told you I wanted to put some Parmesan. I'm actually not going to put it on top. I'm just going to put it in the sauce to give it a boost of flavor. Let's go ahead and remove the pasta from the pan. So I would say that this is probably enough for 2 very, very hungry people or 4 regular hungry people. And last one. Beautiful. Let's use the spoon to coat the shrimp, to coat the pasta in this gorgeous sauce. It's beautifully saucy, but it's emulsified and come together. Come right back so we can plate this gorgeous bowl of deliciousness and taste it all together. I'll see you in a minute. Back to SoFlo Taste right after this. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. I am here putting this gorgeous shrimp spaghetti onto a plate. It's filled with beautiful herbs, lemon zest, a little lemon juice, and just a tiny touch of creaminess. And like I was telling everyone earlier, the illegal addition, of course, of Parmesan cheese, which I know isn't done in Italy, but since I'm in my own kitchen, I'm going to go ahead and add what I wish onto my pasta. And there we have it. This looks so good. Y'all excited to dig in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, boys. My best eaters in the house. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for spending part of your busy weekend with me. So did I add any shrimp to your repertoire? I hope so, because here in SoFlo, shrimp should be the state animal. Next week, I'll be elevating the lowly leek into a starring role. From leek vinaigrette to braised leeks to leek and potato soup, I'll be placing this versatile veggie in my spotlight, so please be here. Now let's check in with my pal, Elena Capra. What's up, Elena? What's coming next on SoFlo Home Project?
Hi, Michelle. Good morning. So today we're talking about merging design styles. Coming up on SoFlo Home Project, we tour an amazing home designed with the traditional style of architecture and a little bit of modern flair.
Okay, Elena, thanks. We're not going to move a mussel or a shrimp. So taste buds, be smart, be safe, and be vaccinated, and I'll see you here next week. Goodbye and good taste. Keep it shrimple.